Hello children, it's story time once again with Manjit. Now this story is about Red Riding Hood. So once upon a time, there was a lovely girl called Red Riding Hood. She lived in the forest with her mother in a very pretty cottage. Now, do you wonder how did she get this name? Well, I'll tell you how. Firstly, her favorite color was red. And then she was very fond of wearing a red hood dress most of the time. Well, so that explains why she was called Red Hood. But why riding? Let's see if we can find that out. So one day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called out to her and said, "Hello, my little angel. Your grandma's not feeling too well and I've baked some fresh bread for her. Can you please just go and give her the bread?" "Oh yes," said Little Red Riding Hood happily. And she took the bread basket and set off through the forest singing happily. The forest was green and pretty. She met so many butterflies and humming bees on the way. Some parrots, 2 monkeys, a nightingale, and even heard the big black bear at a distance. She met a hunter on the way who turned around and asked her,
"Hello, little angel. I'm looking for a big bad wolf who's hurting a lot of people. Did you see him?"
"Oh no, not so far, sir."
"Okay, if you do, give me a shout. And you go carefully, okay? Be on the lookout for that big bad wolf."
"Okay, sure, Mr. Hunter. I'll be careful. I'm just going across to my grandmother's cottage to give her some nice warm bread which my mother baked." Now it so happened that the big bad wolf was hiding behind some trees and listening to all this talk.
I can smell some food. Yummy. I will eat up the bread as well as Red Riding Hood. Yeah.
And so saying, he hurried across to Grandma's cottage. Grandmother wasn't around, so he quickly wore one of her dress and got down into her bed and covered himself with a sheet. Soon Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage and knocked. "Tuck, tuck, 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 tuck. Hello, Grandma. It's me, Red Riding Hood." "Come in, dear. The door is open." Little Red Riding Hood went close to her grandma's bed and she was a little confused. "Hey, Grandma, why are you looking so different?" "Because I have a cold, dear." "How come your arms are so long, Grandma?" "So that I can hug you tightly, dear." "Why are your eyes so big, Grandma?" "So that I can see you from far, dear." "And why are your nails so sharp, Grandma?" "So that I can eat you." And so saying, the wolf jumped from the bed and tried to pounce on Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood was taken aback. She was surprised and shocked and a little scared. But not for long. Her mother had made her learn karate. And what the wolf did not know was that Red Riding Hood had already won the orange, green, and then the blue belt in karate. So she stepped back a little and gave a nice flying kick to the wolf. Ta-kum! 1, ta-kum! 2, and 3. The wolf went flying up in the air and came straight down. Ow! 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 Red Riding Hood was in full form. She caught the wolf with her arm and swung him around the room like a rope. Ow! Ow! Sorry, said the wolf. But Red Riding Hood was in no mood to listen. She tied his mouth with a grandma scarf and said, I will now ride on you through the forest. And so saying, Red Riding Hood climbed on the wolf's back and went riding through the forest. Hello, Mr. Hunter. Is this the wolf you were looking for? She shouted through the forest. The hunter and all the animals in the forest were surprised to see the little girl in a red hood riding on a wolf through the forest. And well, I guess that's the reason that she came to be known as Red Riding Hood. And you know, children, why do you think she could beat the wolf? Why do you think she could look after herself? Why do you think she didn't have to cry for help, help, help me? Well, that's because she was a strong child. She exercised, learnt karate, did yoga, and played a lot. Red Riding Hood had indeed grown up to be a lovely, strong girl. And before I go, you want to know what happened to the wolf? Well, the hunter caught the wolf and he was punished in the sense that he had to give 10 rides to Red Riding Hood every day through the jungle. Now that was fun for a big, strong girl like Red Riding Hood.